Hello friends, it's Linda and I'm here to show you my autumn junk journal that is available in my Etsy store, Vintage Joys and Jewels. It's also the flip through for this is on Instagram at Linda Perry Smith, but I wanted to take an opportunity to put it here on the YouTube channel as well. And just want to show you here. I designed this from a Reader's Digest condensed book that has this beautiful pumpkin-y orange and navy blue cover. And I covered the spine with a really pretty trim that I got from a dear friend, and also added some crochet lace and some fall leaves. And this little embellishment here is one that I stamped onto copper and then backed with some cardboard, corrugated cardboard, and tied with a little bit of matching ribbon. This is a fabric image. It was an image that I actually printed out on a printable fabric, and it's just very textured and pretty. I have it tied with some recycled sari silk, and I added some copper eyelets to hold the ties. This is the back cover. And we'll go ahead and look inside. This one has 3 sewn signatures, so it's bigger than some of my other journals. Let me pull this out just a little bit so you're getting a bigger view. I don't know if that made too much difference or not. Okay, so the front cover I made a pocket from some Cathe Holden fabric and made this pretty journal card. And then I've used some scrapbook paper. This is another journaling tag. It's got a bit of glitter on the pumpkins and some journaling space on the back tucked in here. I used a few digitals that I will credit in the description box where those came from. My digitals come from Etsy shops for the most part. This is a wonderful Edith Holden reproduction page that I purchased, a reproduction booklet actually on Amazon that I just love. The pages are just have a great feel. Nice, sturdy, glossy, crisp images. And there's the other side of that. Some mulberry paper, brown mulberry paper. It's a pretty scrapbook. Love these ladies. Little journaling card that I sewed around. It's a vintage playing card. I love those. Some coffee dyed loose leaf. This is an old favorite scrapbook paper. I was thrilled to use it. I've had it in my stash for a long time. This pocket here is from a window envelope. I apologize for the glare. I am still really brand new and learning about lighting and filming, so I apologize. I know I apologize in every video, but I apologize again. So anyway, I covered the envelope in a pretty digital and created this card from a simplicity pattern. These ladies in their very chic fall ensembles. And this, I added this little embellishment from some actual sewing pattern paper, and of course had to add a pearl. So those chic ladies just show right through the window there. This is a page from the actual book that this book was created from. And I always like to add some vintage atlas paper some children's ledger. This is one of my favorite rubber stamp images, and I use her whenever I can. She is from RedLeadPaperworks, who is the creator of some of the best rubber stamps on the market. She says, finders keepers. So I wonder, there may be something to be found in this pocket here, and it is indeed a Mini Kisses Pumpkin Mousse Cups Hershey's recipe card. If those don't sound delicious. I already purchased my first bottle of pumpkin spice sugar-free coffee make creamer, which is my favorite thing, and so I'm ready for pumpkin spice, being the controversial person that I am. Okay, not actually. I'm pretty agreeable. Fabric flip. This is the center of the first signature, and it's got another just adorable little rooster playing card there, and I just love this paper. What could be better than mustard yellow polka dots? Okay, here's a little glassine bag, and I put all types of fall-themed little postage stamps and stickers in there for you to add to your pages as you create them. This is the other side of that paper sack, and it's got another little journaling card with some very fashionable ladies from the 40s. Okay, the 40s are were my favorite era. I guess because it was my parents' era, and I have so many nostalgic memories of the music and the styles and such, and the stories that my parents told. And okay, a fun fabric flip using these fall fabrics. I love fabric flips in my albums. Great place to do a bit of journaling that no one can see, or to put a photo, or it just adds texture. Okay, just some blank pages for you to embellish as you wish, or just to journal on. Here's a simple little journaling tag and a burlap envelope. I'm just having trouble making sure I'm staying in focus and frame here. Here's the other side of that wonderful Cathe Holden book from fall. This wonderful owl. You can tell I'm liking the playing cards in this book. Here's a little dangle that I made using some of my beads. I have quite a lot of beads from my jewelry making days, and I get very excited to add them to my journals now. A little fabric ruffle that I made. Another Cathe Holden, Edith, oh dear me, I can't talk. Cathe Holden fabric here, and I just love her fabrics. And this is another pretty journaling card that I created. I love fall. I love the colors and just everything about it. This is a page from a gardening book, and I tried to choose some of the fall flowers and foliage. This is a little sewing fabric flippy thing and a embellished journal card. I thought made a very pretty little presentation here. I used stamps and little leaf cutouts and some fabric and some great handmade paper. More of my coffee dyed. Here's a blast from the past. I love old trading stamps. I have quite a collection, so I like to add them to journals as well when it works with the theme. Here's an old piece of stationery, vintage Gotta love this guy. He's a wise owl. He's from a Whitman children's deck of cards. This little top hat, very dapper. A little glassine bag there. I love this. It's kind of a metallic, shiny, beautiful green paper. There's a bit of an old ledger, or yeah. Made a little shaker page in the center, or a little shaker tag. It's got some fun fall colored sequins and shakers in there. It's removable. Bit of pretty ribbon. Looks like pumpkin pie, doesn't it, this ribbon? Okay, here's another fabric flip, and I tucked in a little folded piece of coffee dyed loose leaf. I often will leave things that I've sewn, I will leave the edges, leave the strings. If that's something that ever bothers you, you can always snip them, but I just think it adds such a sweet little element to see the sewing strings. Look at this quite chic lady from the 60s with her pillbox hat and that tweed skirt and her gloves. She has got it going on. Just a fun page from a vintage simplicity. Even the back side has some ladies and some fun fall colors. It's from a simplicity sewing book. And here's another pocket. And inside the pocket I have a 3-tag little grouping here, tucked into the pocket. Look at these girls. Are they just the cutest in their fall outfits for school? It's a journaling card. It's got lines on the back. This is a little fabric yo-yo. I make sometimes in the evening when we're watching the baseball game or whatever we're watching, I'll make fabric yo-yos for my projects. And another little adorable greeting card image. Okay. All right. A little fall leaf there, held on with a bit of washi tape. And here is the other Cathe Holden pocket with a bingo card, vintage bingo card, journaling card. And that's the end of that first signature. Actually, it's the end of the second signature. Here's the third, beginning of the third. This is a fun little belly band that I put these journal cards that I cut into mason jars. And this is a digital. And I, again, have all of the digitals that I use linked in the description box. And a belly band from that pretty ribbon that I got from my friend. Here's some gold mulberry paper. Here is a page from a vintage crafting book. It's fun. I never met a pumpkin I didn't like. Isn't that cute? A journal card. Okay. This is a page from a really fun tile of a book about ceramic and not just ceramic, but also, what would you call it, marble tiles and patterns from around the world. Really fun book that I found at a thrift store. Another old music page. This is an old greeting card with a friendly squirrel. It says dilly dally. This is, it's a little hard to tell because of the patterns in the paper, but this page has 3 pockets. There's one here, and there's one here, and I've tucked either a journaling card or tag into the pockets. And then there's another pocket at the top that has a little set of 3 small little fall or journaling tags. Just kind of tucked into the top here. This is a coloring page that I thought might be fun to add if you're working in your journal and don't feel like doing anything too involved. You can color. Oops, I skipped. This is another fabric flip with a few little favorite pretty fall fabrics. This is the center of this, and of course I always try to include some tea, and this is some pumpkin flavored chai tea, and it is so delicious. And this guy says, "You had me at pumpkin spice." That is so true, for me anyway. It seems to be a bit of a controversial love it or hate it, and I am a love it. Okay, here's a flashcard that I embellished a bit. Added to this little pocket. This is the other side of the greeting card, actually. This is a fun Tim Holtz die cut, and it looks like one of those wheel, what do you call them? Can't think of, like, picture viewers, viewfinder type things. And I colored it with some distress inks to give it a fall look, and this was just a really fun brown and gold metallic-y textured heavy paper. So I made that into a tag. Here's the other side of that page from that great tile book and music paper. Yet another little greeting card. Not greeting card, I keep saying that. Playing card. Kind of thought it looked pretty with the colors in this tile here. And she's just too stinking adorable with her little 60s self and her hairdo. Okay. All right, almost finished here. This is more of the crafting book page. And this is so interesting. I am just an avid follower of Gail Augustinelli on YouTube. I've been watching her since the beginning of the pandemic, and I feel like I've gotten to know her. My husband does too, actually, and I sit and work on my journals and watch her quite a bit, really pretty much every day. It's become like a crafting friend that I've never met. But anyway, she made these, I think she called them woven pockets. Maybe, because the papers are woven, and then there's 4 tags kind of tucked into each of the little weaves. So I made these along with her one day, and totally tickled to use it. So inside is a little journaling card that I made from, these are actually some patio paver color card books that we had from when we redid our patio. And I told my husband, don't throw those away. So I made a little card out of it. I think it turned out pretty cute. He's afraid to throw anything away these days. He'll be like, do you want this? Because he knows it. I enjoy using things in my journal rather than using them in my journals rather than pitching. Here's a little card, journaling card in a journaling card. So it's a journaling card with a pocket. More of these fun ladies and a little bit of vintage trim. And they are tucked into this back little cover pocket, which brings us to the end of the journal. This is the very back cover, another great Cathe Holden fabric that matches the colors in the covers of the book. And I had bought a series of postcards on Etsy a few years back by this wonderful artist, and I thought I'd include this one of this little guy. He always uses these little miniature guys that are doing something to full-size fruits or vegetables or whatever, and they're just really creative. So I thought I'd include this art postcard in the back cover because I thought it was just a great match. So that is the journal. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and hopefully I will continue to expand my abilities to make videos that have some decent quality to them in terms of my lighting and my setup here. But I appreciate those of you who have started to follow me and to leave comments. I love making the journals. You can find all of my handmade journals in my Etsy shop, which is again Vintage Joys and Jewels. And I'm going to be making some more video flip-throughs of some of my other journals, so I hope you will take a look. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.